U.S. intelligence officials are taking a close look at what an American Islamic State fighter is telling Kurdish media. Mohamad Jamal Khweis, a 26-year-old from the U.S. city of Alexandria, Virginia, spoke to an Iraqi Kurdish TV channel just days after he claims to have fled from the IS-held city of Mosul. Kurdish forces saw him wandering near the northern Iraqi city of Sinjar on Monday and fired upon him before he surrendered to them. Mohamad Khweis is a VOA journalist with our Extremism watch desk. He's been following the case, and I asked him earlier what he makes of that interview on Iraqi Kurdish TV.
So there were a lot of new information that Khweis reported in the interview, things that we did not know early on when we first reported the story, how dissatisfied he was with the Islamic State, all the promises that were made prior to his departure for Syria to join the Islamic State, and all the things that he knew or hoped to see in the Islamic State were false, according to what he said in the interview.
Like what things?
For example, the way they were treating the foreign fighters in Syria and Iraq, especially in Syria, and that the majority of Islamic State fighters are foreigner, yet they were still treated differently from the rest of Arab fighters in the group. So, and also how things were different in the way they were treating women, and how everything was different from what Mohamad Khweis was used to.
In America, right?
Exactly.
Quite a different lifestyle. So I understand you met the parents of Mohamad Jamal Khweis earlier this week and actually broke the news to them that he had been detained in Iraqi Kurdistan. What reaction has there been from his parents to this interview that was just broadcast?
So VOA was the first news organization that got to talk to the family. And like you said, we broke the news to them. In the beginning, they were, they didn't believe what I was telling them until I showed them the picture of their son captured by the Kurdish Peshmerga in Iraqi Kurdistan. But then we stayed in touch afterward until early this morning after this K24 interview was broadcast, and there was no response from them. Apparently, the family doesn't want to comment further about these kind of emerging details. Now they know that their son is indeed in Iraq and he has been captured by the Kurds. But in the beginning, it was very important that they kept denying that their son was in the Middle East. They thought that's what they said at least, that their son, this whole period, was based in Canada.
Yeah, now there's, I think, very strong evidence that he has in fact been in the Middle East. So how significant is the fact that Mohamad Jamal Khweis did this interview and went public with the fact that he had a bad experience of the Islamic State?
Very significant, because he talks about all the negative things that ISIS has been doing, and that's what the U.S. and its coalition partners have been promoting, basically saying and reiterating what U.S. officials and Western officials have been saying about ISIS and its atrocities and its everything that ISIS does on the ground. Mohamad, basically, as a former ISIS member, told what the situation it is on the ground, because it's really hard to say. And he was the first ISIS defector to talk about his bad experience with the terror group.
Well, thanks so much to VOA reporter Mohamad Khweis of the VOA Extremism Watch Desk for bringing us the latest on the case of Mohamad Jamal Khweis.
Thank you, Michael.